Cancer. There's so many messages that I have for you guys. It's a little bit chaotic and crazy. So I'm just going to start where I think I should, and that is, you know what you want, but you're not proud of it. And the reasons for you not being proud of it really go back a long time. They're multiple. It's like a recipe of blech. What you've learned, from your childhood, from when you were a teenager, from different pressures that you had to meet along your life, how it felt to have a nasty look from somebody, or how it felt to see somebody cry in front of you because something that you said, or how it felt to be abandoned because what you said or what you did didn't make somebody else happy. And cancers hold on to those things like it is breath itself, because it's emotional reactions from others, and that is sort of what we breathe on. We are definitely that go-between between emotions and land. So we're constantly trying to think about what emotions actually work and how are they being productive, right? And if these emotions aren't being productive, or the emotions we produce in other people aren't being productive and aren't helping us move forward, then we should just shut them off. We're constantly looking how to make emotions practical and put our emotions into practical purpose. And that's admirable, and I think it is magical, but it is also disastrous, because what we end up doing is we end up feeling things and then not feeling good about feeling things, or feeling good about who we are for feeling those things or wanting those things, because we know that other people are not going to approve, or it's not going to work for them, or it might make somebody not want to call us for a while, or somebody might just get blatantly mad, or in some extreme cases, we may lose a million subscribers, or 5,000 followers, or whatever. And I'm not going to say to you as a Cancerian, fuck it, don't give a shit, because we are hardwired to give a shit. But give a shit in the way that we should contemplate and understand the perspective that ache or that distance from somebody else is giving us. Not consider it as in convince ourselves to agree with it. So I know that right now you have been invited to something, or you have been listening to something, or you have the opportunity for something, and you've already made a decision on it in your heart. You already know. And listen, the moon is full right now as I'm recording this video. This video will arrive to you on Friday, but I'm recording it to you on the full moon. And of course, we're Cancerians, so the full moon impacts us a great deal. And it's in Leo right now. So what that is illuminating is our heart space and our life purpose, and have we done all that we can to actually strive for it. And I'm telling you right now, on today of all days, you will be very, very aware, of what matters to you, of what you know. This will be a day when the moon is in Leo. There's a lot of craziness that could go on for us, but what is sure is that we as Cancerians, not everybody else, but we as Cancerians, when the moon is in Leo, will feel the most close to and receive the most clarity on what our heart really wants and what's really making us happy. I'm not saying that you have to go out and share it with anybody, but you do have to be real with yourself about it. And I know for a fact there's a decision that you're making right now that you're contemplating making from the perspective of, or in the mentality of, I don't want them to think I don't like them, or we used to be friends, so I should show up. But do you want to? Because it's not the question of do you think you should. This is not about your thoughts. This is about your heart. Do you really want to? Really want to? And I know that for some of you out there, it's like, oh, want. That's not really a good word because it's about greed, and it's not. What do you really want? In the colloquial sense, common tongue English, What do you want? If you do not want to go, you must not go. If your heart is already forgetting about it, but your mind is constantly like, no, you should reconsider. No, you should reconsider. No, you should reconsider. Do not reconsider. Your heart has already decided. This is a wonderful time, Cancerians, for us to recalibrate our heart space. When the moon is in Leo, this is when we need to do it. When the moon is in Leo, it's when we need to recalibrate and realign ourselves to what our heart is saying to us. And remember, our heart is the speaker system for our souls. Our soul is that little receiver that's constantly picking up frequencies from God. It's that little piece of God within us that is constantly picking up those frequencies and disseminating them throughout us. And our heart is the speaker system for that. Our mind is not the speaker system. It's not the speaker system. It's the ears. It listens and it contemplates and tries and if working correctly, translates in truth and honesty what it is we actually desire into what steps we have to take right now. So this is a great time right now for us to recalibrate our desires, and make sure that what we are after or are focusing on or putting all of our hard work into is really what we want. Yes, especially when it comes to things like our partnerships and relationships, but also things like our career, which in so many cases can be put onto the back burner because of our focus on others. Of course, that may not be true for you. Whatever it is that really is your heart's desire is where our attention and focus needs to be. And I just know that there is a conflict. There's a conflict and something in you telling you, you have to do it this way because you've always done it this way. Well, this is the time when the moon is full in Leo to release the way that you've always done things and to revel in or connect with what your heart is really telling you you want. So we have this, which is movement and progress, right? This is the card riding forward in confidence. I mean, look at her. She's a badass bitch. She's up there on that horse riding like crazy. Hello. Riding that horse like Seabiscuit. She's confident. She's sexy. She got her boobies out. She knows herself and she's willing to let the world see herself, but she's not even looking to see them looking at her. What she is doing. Hold on. I just noticed that everything was really smudgy and nasty on my video screen. So I had to pause the camera and not video screen, but on my camera lens. So I had to wash it. So she's not even focused on what other people want. She's so impassioned and connected to her future. She is just, it's like, let anybody watch who wants to watch. It's really only about her comfort levels and her being her. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. This is that energy of being so focused on what you're really into that what other people think moves off you like water from a duck's back. It's also telling me that it's time to get away from something. It's time to move away from that which doesn't serve you. And it's time to release it and let it go with honor, with gratitude, with, you know what? Some of this was the best time in my life, but I don't feel that way anymore. And that may make me a little bit sad, but it also makes me happy because I've completed a cycle. This is a card of people who used to be friends not being friends anymore. People who used to be part of your life distancing themselves from you or becoming a part of your memory and not a part of your current mind right now. This is distancing yourself. It's like you can feel the distance. You can feel that you've grown apart from this group of people, this person, or this activity that used to really make you, that you used to love, used to feel so connected to. It's okay to admit that that connection does not exist anymore. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you're going to have a struggle with two different aspects of this. One, first of all, accepting it, Because did I fail? Did I mess up? Does the fact that this is ending mean that I'm a failure or that I'm bad at something? And two, accepting how you feel about the fact that it's ending, because I honestly do feel like that you feel more gladness than anything. You're ready to move on is what I'm saying. And in some ways, you're making yourself feel guilty, or something is making you feel guilty for feeling ready to move on. But that's the problem. Your desires are causing you a great deal of burden. There's a struggle with what you actually want. You're feeling like your own desires, your own wisdom, your own sense of intrigue, like I guess that's what I'm saying, because it's not necessarily temptation. This isn't a bad thing. This is about you feeling that it's like you seeing the sinful side of everything always. You seeing it as something that is toxic when it's not toxic at all. It's life, and it's movement, and it's you. And it's almost like you damning something to hell because of this tremendous burden you feel about it. And that's not really like that's not fair to you. There is definitely something that has grown to be toxic and burdensome, and it's time to walk away from it. There's an offer coming in. There are new wonderful things happening in your life, and we're going to get into that. But this is what I was talking about just before. Honor the cycles. Things change, and we are the moon, and now we're here at another full moon. So between this full moon, the Cancer full moon that we just experienced at the end of December, and this full moon, what's changed? What have we experienced? What has happened to us? What have we realized about our lives? There's just been a lot of growth that has happened, even a short period of time when we're really ready to open up to a whole new life. And that's what's going on. And we honor the cycle. We say that just because the cycle is the cycle, and it had an end just like it had the beginning. And the new things that you're beginning now, the new offers that are going to come into you, they're going to have an end at some point too. Everything has a beginning and everything has an end. To honor that cycle is to have faith. You are now at a point where you are ready to give birth to something new. That's what you are pregnant with a new idea or a new life. This is your time to burst out into the world, to come down that long, scary, creepy birth canal and come out on the other side to a totally different experience. You're ready for it now. And this is what's going to happen to you. This is what's happening. Clear the vessel. I also see this as a baby coming out, or your creativity flowing out. It's also getting rid of all those things that are getting in our way and not serving us anymore. It's time to let go. It's time to say no. It's time to accept that what once it's how you accept it, because it's not just accept. No. You know how you accept it? You honor it. You appreciate it. See, it's not appreciating something, trying to keep it alive for longer than it is. Just because you stick you stick a machine on something doesn't mean you're keeping it alive. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a difference between life and being alive. This is about your choice to just to have life or to actually live. I want you to focus on really living, and really, I just lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry, guys. Things have been just like, what I want to say, bottom line, is fucking move on. That's what I want to say. But I don't want to say it, but it's not harsh. It's triumphant. Because it's okay. It's okay for you to not be interested in those people anymore. It's okay for you to not be interested in this idea anymore. It's okay for you to have lost interest. The season's over. And like I was saying, the way that you really move on from something is to honor it. And you don't honor it by trying to keep it alive on life support, which is really what it is when your brain tries to convince your heart that it's the right thing to do. It's just life support. It's life support for an emotion that has run its course. And that's where cancers get stuck. We get stuck in the tides. We love the tides, it's where we live, but it also it sticks us there. We can't decide sometimes what we need to move on to the next phase or the next step because we're so caught in the in between. And I'm saying to you right now, enough with the in between. You're ready for that new cycle in your life. And it's the in between is really a metaphor for our heart and our mind. And our mind is constantly trying to convince our heart that, this is still real. This is still real. This is still real. This still matters. This still matters. This still matters. When in fact, it doesn't matter anymore. The heart knows what it is. The heart knows what it wants. And if it doesn't matter to you anymore, what does that make you? Does that make you a bad person? Does that make you a bad friend? Does that make you, whatever it makes you, it makes you. Because you know what? Your bad side is just as beautiful as your good side. And this is about accepting you as the whole and complete you, not just piecemealing yourself and only serving up the parts that you think are socially acceptable. So ultimately, something's done for you, and you got to be okay with that. Now, look forward is our way through here. It's everything is calling us forward. It's also saying there are still obstacles. There are still things that we need to, well, first of all, we have to look in the direction that we're going. And if we're constantly looking back to what we used to have or what we think we should still want, look how dangerous that journey would be if we weren't paying attention to where we're moving. In order to really get to where you're going, you have to put your whole focus on it right now. And those blindfolders might cut out a lot of details that, 10 years from now, you might, oh, how could I have missed that? Well, it's worth the disappointment. It's the only way you're going to get there if you put the blinders on and you just head straight forward. Because if you get distracted and you look back, you'll fall right off that damn cliff, which means not necessarily you or that danger is coming, but danger is coming to your opportunities. Danger is coming to your future. It won't happen if you don't get there. And the only way to get there is to look forward. The answers you need are coming. Well, part of this is the answers that you need, as well as number one, the permission to be uncomfortable. Think of the Gemini North Node. We're the moon, right? The North Node of the moon is in Gemini right now. Think of the North Node. It is not comfortable for us to actually talk or speak what we actually really feel, but we have to. We also have to very much listen, not necessarily to others, but to our own heart and be speaking from our heart now instead of from our heads that have already figured out what everybody else wants to hear. Gemini is telling us to communicate clearly, that we're the ones that have to actually communicate what our heart desires. Your dreams need a practical plan. This is full moon in Taurus energy, meaning, there are things that we want that are worldly, that, people would call us greedy for. That, who cares? But how do we get there? The practical plan here is to get real with your heart, to go after it with everything that you have, and to leave behind all of those things that you have no interest in anymore. The practicality here is get your heart aligned, your head aligned with your heart, and not your heart aligned with your head. They both have to be present. They both have to be working together. But right now, there's this temptation for your heart to be sort of submissive to your brain. But your brain isn't the guiding force right now. It's your heart. And your heart has to get your brain on board to start calculating and moving in the direction that it wants and moving you in the direction that it wants to go. Stick with it. Don't give up. Even if you've started out sloppy, even if you've started out messing up, even if there have been a lot of mistakes, keep moving forward. You are climbing this vine, right? This is the Jack and the Beanstalk vine. You're climbing this vine to unexpected and unimaginable wonders. You just got to keep going. I know it's easiest to want to turn back and get nostalgic now, especially as we move toward Mercury retrograde. Nostalgia is really going to impact us right now. Also because the moon, while it's in Leo, and it just passed over the North Node while it was in Gemini, While the moon is in Leo, it's in favorable aspects to the South Node. So there is a lot of nostalgia. There is a lot of our hearts really being aligned with the past. And that is, but remember, the reason for that is to say goodbye. Share your voice, come out of the cave. It's time for you to be really you. And it's time for the world to know who the hell you really are. This is also telling me that the universe is opening up. And inevitably, I'm telling you, Cancers, you're going to feel almost like you're not in control of yourself right now. It's almost like the universe is taking over you and propelling you forward, because it knows that if it asked you, you would give it some bullshit answer. So it's really like just kind of working through you and moving you like a marionette. It needs to bring you out into the open now without any risk of you saying no. That's how important it is for you to move forward. So if you've been feeling like things are about to spill out of your mouth that normally wouldn't, or you don't care about things that you would normally care about, it's because the universe is blocking all of these pathways or thoughts in your head that would stop you from doing what you need to get done. In other words, you're being blessed right now. You're being blessed by somehow having certain aspects of yourself muted. Guys, if you really love this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Also, ring that bell and hit notifications, all notifications, so that you know as soon as I upload your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, or any other sign that you're curious about. I upload between 12 and 14 videos a week. Cancer specific messages come out every Friday, and you'll know as long as you ring that bell and subscribe. Also, there's always an extended video. That link is right down below. That is a tarot card spread and a romance reading, all in one reading. The tarot is a deep dive into the challenges, the way that we handle this, the things we most have to look out for, and what's going to be the outcome, all answered in the tarot reading. That link is below. Also join me, because I go live all the time, not here anymore, but I go live all the time on Instagram. So Monday through Friday, I do a daily tarot card reading and motivation, and there's lots of great content over there, including those live interactions. So you can find me on Instagram at born_without_boundaries. I hope to see you there. And last but not least, you can subscribe directly to Vimeo or my website as well. With Vimeo, if you subscribe over there, you'll get first access to the weekly astrological forecasts. I post them on Vimeo because I post too much to YouTube already. It's totally for free, the weekly astrological forecasts, and you'll get access to the extendeds about a day before this link shows up here. FYI. Let's look into your animal totem cards. This is what's buried. Yeah, dream the world into being. Your past, your past being influenced by your future. It's bugging you. It's annoying you and it's pestering you. It's making you feel like you have to do something that you don't want to do, and it's irritating you. You're irritated by the feeling that you have the obligation to do something that doesn't work for you right now. That you are under the impression that you have to feel bad about yourself or shame about yourself because you can't make time for somebody right now. It's irritating, and it should be irritating, and it's meant to be irritating so that you will identify that it's something that has to be, bam, killed, and you have to stop it. We have, you see clearly now. Things are so clear because the moon is in Leo. Like everything is so clear. You know exactly what it is that you want. Please make a snapshot of this moment and remind yourself when you're in those hazy periods, no, this definitely is how I get back to my heart space. This is it. This is where I'm aligned now. Time for a deep dive. I also think in some ways you've been spotted by love and romance, and I've been feeling this for a while, that it's coming into you. Whether or not you want it or are looking for it, you're going to be led to this. Something is very clear, and your path is opened up wide for a new romantic encounter to come into it. Now, that takes me a little off my path, but I also think it aligns me with you doing something good for you. You doing what makes you happy and not worried about what makes others happy or getting distracted. It's also a sense of returning back to something that is desirable, something that is sexy, something that is passionate, something that is romantic. So it could also say that your path is becoming clearer toward not only who you are meant to be in love with, but what you love. You could look at it that way too. Oh man. White stag is here. Now that means spirit has already determined this. This is like fate and destiny. It's also saying that you and your gorgeous, shiny self have to be the ones that step out and do this. You have to take the lead. The path will be clear as long as you're walking on it, but it's not going to come to you and nobody's going to lift you up and move your legs for you. This is saying you've been tapped, you know it, and now it's time to get going with it. Be loyal to what you love, and that's all you need to know, and that's all you need to worry about. The dog is going to lead you on your path. This is 100% unconditional dedication and demonstration. Like, dogs don't sit there and think, am I looking foolish when I lick my owner's face? Am I looking foolish when I'm bouncing from chair to chair? They don't. They're just themselves. They're just so engaged in their heart space. They don't question it or question how it's going to make them appear. So don't worry about it. Unconditional. This is get that ego out of the way and just let that heart shine. Sing your own song. It's time for you to be heard. It's time for you to be heard. And I will say as a means of encouragement, and this also looks at like the water bearer. This is Aquarius energy. Clear your vessel, like tell the truth. There is a purging here, an opportunity. There is there's just an opening up. And I will say it's almost like the star card, wishes and dreams coming true and being fulfilled as soon as you allow yourself to align your heart. It's that simple. Aligning your heart is what causes everything to start turning in motion. A new life, a rebirth is assured. Coming out of the dark, waking up. Spirit has a plan. I told you this was part of a bigger destiny and a bigger design. And it's tapping on you. It's saying time to wake up, Cancerian, and be playful. Just go along and really feel joy. Your joy will be your pathway to your dreams come true. Gratitude is the attitude. It is the river on which abundance flows. And that's why we pay homage to and show gratitude toward what has brought us this far by allowing it to end when it's meant to end and not trying to hold on to it be beyond its lifespan. Let's go into your angel messages. Ooh. There's a lot of this that came out. And it's because you do. Like, as Cancerians, we need a lot of encouragement, because we will second guess ourselves into paralysis. That's just the truth. Positive thinking. Positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude, along with positive beliefs and thoughts, are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry, think love. Anxiety. We surround you with the healing light of amethyst. Take a deep breath and breathe in this beautiful violet light. Feel your anxiety melting away. There is nothing to fear. There is only love. Clarity. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in the blue of the sky. Feel a gentle breeze flow through you. There is peace. There is clarity. A magical healing has just taken place, a gift from your guardian angel. It's all going to be okay. Archangel Uriel. A great spiritual transformation is currently occurring both in your life and in our world. This is the union of heaven and earth, spirit and matter, heart and mind, which we just talked about, unite in harmonious balance. So in other words, you know what that's saying, Cancerians? It wasn't just you. So much, especially, it's like a cardinal sign caveat. And it's a cardinal sign pitfall. that we always think it's our responsibility to do everything and make everything happen. And we totally forget that there's so many other wheels spinning in the universe in their own way. We have to work in harmony with the universe, which means the universe had to be ready for us as much as we had to be ready for it. So it's not always us that needs to do something. And right now is a time for us to allow. Gratitude. Oh man. Make gratitude your new attitude. The stars will shine brighter upon you. All in your world will become lighter. That's right. Archangel Raphael, feel yourself surrounded by my emerald green light. I, Archangel Raphael, offer you healing and solace. The storm clouds will soon clear and the sun will shine eternally bright. Trust. Trust. Let's go over to the extended and get full clarity. I will see you guys over there.